Welcome to day 1 of learning Tableau with Ayushi. Today in this video, we will be learning 3 important Tableau skills: parameter, calculated fields, and building interactive dashboards. Let's start with building a dynamic sales dashboard. This will allow users to easily switch between weekly, monthly, and quarterly sales trend. So let's start with connecting our data. Click on the connect to data, and here is the sample store. So now we are connected to our database, and let's start by creating a simple sales trend chart. Here we start with selecting an order date. Put this in the column shell and select our sales. And let's change this date to monthly, and now it's a green pill with the continuous month date. But imagine the scenario where your user wants to see the sales trend over month, quarter, year, or weekly basis. So now this chart is very much static and it can only show the sales trend over the month. To resolve this issue, there comes a functionality in the Tableau called parameter, where a user can provide the input and interact with the dashboard. So let's just start by creating a parameter. Let's click on create parameter, and we will name our parameter as select date. We can provide a different type of parameters, and these are the list. And let's select string here because we are creating a string parameter, and click on the list and provide the list here. So here we will provide week, and let's give month and quarter, and click OK, and let's do select show parameter. So now we have created our parameter. Let's select month or quarter. So now we see there's no change in the graph because parameter needs to be initialized. It cannot work alone. So let's start by creating a calculated field, and that will provide you more understanding on this. So let's give this a name as time period, and this is our calculation 1. So here we will be discussing 2 calculations to initialize our parameter. Let's start with creating our very first calculation. We will write a simple calculation with a case statement. Basic structure of case is case, when, then, and end. So this is the syntax for our case statement, and let's read it like a simple English. So what we are trying to do here, we are trying to initialize our parameter. Basically what we want when our user select week on our parameters, our chart will reflect the sales trend over the week. This is what we want. So let's provide our parameter here. Let's select date. So case, select date, and when we want this action to happen, when the user selects week, then we want a date to truncate on the week level, and which date we want to truncate is our order date. So this is our very first case statement, and since we have provided 3 different time partitions, so we're gonna create 3 case statements for that. And let's select case strong, provide month here, and select order date. And same goes for the parameter. Same goes for quarter. Then let's select DATETRUNC, quarter, and order date. So this is our very first calculation, and let's test this. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna remove the order date from the column shell and gonna replace our time period calculation with it. This is our dynamic date, and I'll select this as an extract and continuous date. So now when we selected extract, it automatically became a continuous So now what we can see, when we are selecting week, we are able to see our sales trend over the weekly level. And let's test our quarter. So now we have quarter, we are able to see sales over the past quarters we have. So let's dive into the calculation too. This is comparatively a shorter calculation. Instead of providing a case statement, what we can do, we can provide our parameter in the date part in the trunc function. So let's start with, let's give a select date over here, and which date we want to be truncated is our order date, and make sure to convert this date, truncated date, into the date. So we are selecting our date function over here. What this will do, this will directly take the values from the parameter instead of what we were providing from the case statements. So now replace the same calculation with our new calculation and make it continuous and extract. So now when we are selecting week, we are able to see our graph on the weekly level. When we are able to select month, it's working on the monthly level. This is what we have, interactive sales trend dashboard. Let's make it more professional. Let's name our sheet. So let's name it sales trend over. Make our title to be dynamic as well. We'll insert our parameter select date over here, and let's style it. Let's provide color to it and make it bold. So now when the user select week, not only we are able to see our dynamic chart, but also our dynamic title. So now it says sales trend over quarter. And that's how you can build a dynamic graph and title in Tableau using parameters and calculated paint. If you're learning Tableau, you're in the right place. I'm going to create a series of videos where we build real-world dashboards together step by step. Be sure to like, subscribe and follow along. Let's master Tableau together.